Fennimore Railroad Historical Society Museum is located on 610 Lincoln Avenue in Fennimore, Wisconsin, and is open daily, 7 days a week, from Memorial Day weekend to Labor Day, 10 to 4. Open weekends only during September and October. Also, the Fennimore Railroad Historical Society Museum has train rides and exhibits to see and visit in the depot, and trains you can see outside on display. The miniature train layout was purchased from the late Vern Wilkinson, who spent most of the spare time of his adult life creating the layout. It was Vern's greatest hope to share this system with the public. Also, it is a 15-inch gauge line that operates around the museum grounds and runs miniature train system on weekends and scheduled holidays. Godshow Sugar 6 was built by the Davenport Locomotive Works in Davenport, Iowa in 1907 and is the 741st steam locomotive built by that factory and is a 260 mogul type steam locomotive. This locomotive was originally built for the Alma Plantation Company in Glen, Louisiana as Alma Plantation Company 6, and originally wheel arrangement was 044T tank engine 4 type. Then in 1938 it was rebuilt as a 260 mogul type steam locomotive and added with a tender. Then the locomotive was later sent to the Godshow Sugars Incorporated in Reserve, Louisiana is Godshow Sugar 6. Then in 1956 went to National Sugar Refining Company as National Sugar Refining Company 6. Then in 1959 the locomotive was sold to Edaville Corporation in Wakefield, Massachusetts. Then in 1962 it was moved to South Carver, Massachusetts. The locomotive was also retired as well. Then later the locomotive was moved to Fennimore, Wisconsin to be put on display at the Fennimore Railroad Historical Society Museum, and also it was put where the steam engine that used to work on the narrow gauge Chicago Northwestern Railroad, which is Chicago Northwestern 279, a 260 mogul, used to be, and it is now, the 279 is now in Piachi, Nevada at Piachi Town Park, displayed there, and is also named Dinky. Also, Godshow Sugar 6 is preserved here in Fennimore, Wisconsin today, and also it's seen on display. You can even visit the locomotive's cab and even sit where the engineer and fireman used to sit as well. What you see right behind me is the Chicago Northwestern diesel. This Chicago Northwestern diesel is an SW type diesel locomotive, and also this diesel was built from scratch, and it was also owned by Vern Wilkinson as part of his collection. Then later, this diesel came to be part of the Fennimore Railroad Historical Society Museum in Fennimore, Wisconsin, and is used for pulling the train around the museum grounds as well, whenever the train is operating. Okay, we're walking around the depot where the exhibits are. Look at all these. And also, there's a shelf of model trains. And here's a cool quilt. And this chair once probably been to a caboose. And on the wall, you can see a dozen railroad stuff I should say. That one on the wall shelf, I believe sometimes they often run it. Let's check around back here. Okay, here's some, this looks like a blacksmith shop. Yep, it is, where they built the spikes and everything. And a lot to see around here. This looks like something they used back in the day for controlling railroad freight and passenger. And a lot to see around here. It is the mini coach on the 15-inch gauge track that is carried around on the rails. And also, as part of the train set, it's the only car for visitors to take a ride in. And also, people even ride it while using the grounds. Okay, what you see right behind me is Vernon Wilkinson Railroad 1928. It's the small caboose here on the railroad that is carried around by the train whenever it operates, and also it is seen on the back. Well, I hope you all enjoyed learning about trains with me today. Not too long, train guys. Also, see you all again in the next segment.